A silent yet devastating crisis is gripping Kenya as suicide rates have soared in recent years, leaving countless families shattered and communities deeply unsettled. Media reports from 2021 to 2025 reveal a disturbing surge in suicides, with men disproportionately affected. Nyeri County, for instance, has recorded 75 suicide deaths in just the past 7 months, the majority of whom were men. This alarming trend highlights a critical need for immediate and targeted mental health interventions to address the underlying causes of the growing epidemic. NTV's Margaret Kimathi has the full story.
Martha Wanjiru, not her real name, left home as usual on 10th June, leaving her husband behind. He was unwell at the time. At around 1 p.m., Wanjiru called to check on him and he assured her that he was feeling much better. However, just a few hours later, Wanjiru received some shocking news.
Kitu saa 11 ndio neighbors walinipigia simu wakaniambia nikuje nyumbani haraka. Saa kuja nyumbani nilichukua pikipiki nikaja. Kufika huku ndio sasa nilipata mzee wangu hayuko. Amejitoa uhai.
According to Wanjiru, her husband had been battling stage 2 bone cancer for the past 5 years. The onset of the cold season had taken a toll on him, as low temperatures typically worsened his symptoms and increased the risk of complications.
Vile alianza hayo kuna kukaa yani namuona yani hataki kuongea sana, nikaa wiki 2 tu hivi. Sasa hata mimi angefikiria kufanya hivyo juu alikuwa hata yeye alikuwa anatutia moyo. Anakuambia usiwe na stress, mimi napona, utaniona kwa barabara nikitembea bila miti.
Earlier in April, another tragic incident was reported in Kieni East sub-county. A video recorded on the 30th of that month shows a man teetering on the edge of a balcony on the 6th floor of a building in Chaka town. Below, a crowd had gathered, but instead of urging him to step back, some residents are heard jeering, mocking his visible distress as he contemplated suicide.
Tuliona jamaa kwa pale juu. Sasa wengine wanamwambia ruka, wengine na sisi wengine wanamwambia usiruke, wengine wanamwambia ruka, wengine usiruke. Akakaa hapo kama dakika 10 hivi. Sisi tukaona ni tu kama mchezo jamaa ako naye. Kumwangalia tuliona jamaa amehangi mikono, ameteremka. Jamaa akakuja mpaka chini. Jamaa akakufa.
According to local residents, the man, identified as Peter Masharia Muthoni alias Nanu, had been struggling with mental health challenges and had reportedly attempted to take his own life on several occasions in the past.
Lakini wakati alitoka Shaka, wakati alirudi tukaona hakuwa sawa hata kidogo. Juu hata alikuwa barabara, alikuwa anakuja kwa barabara, anakatalia kwa barabara mpaka kunakuwa na jam.
They fear the society. Society itasema nini? Saizi nikiongea society itanibeba aje? Anataka kumaintain that level yake, ama naweza sema the ego ya mena. And for him to maintain it, wao wanaamini ni kunyamaza na shida zao. So like they don't feel as if they have a space where they can talk juu wakienda kufungukia watu huko nje, at point unapata they are being pointed at.
Globally, men are more likely to die by suicide than women, a trend that is reflected in Nyeri County. According to the national government administration officers in the county, 15 people died by suicide in November 2024, with 11 being male and 4 female. In December, 3 people died by suicide and all were men. The trend persisted in 2025, where suicide claimed 13 lives in the first month of the year, with 8 being male and 5 female. In February, 8 people died, 6 male and 2 female. In March, 7 people died by suicide, with 5 being male and 2 female. In April, 10 men took their own life. In May, 9 people died by suicide, 6 male and 3 female. From June 1st to June 19th, 10 people died by suicide, 8 being male and 2 female.
I've rallied upon all the Ngao members, all the way up to the Nyumba Kumi. We have catalyzed engagements at the grassroots level so that we have small groups discussions over this subject. raising awareness and also encouraging people to open up, because the more we talk about it, the more people get encouraged to speak about it.
Nyeri County Commissioner Ronald Miwawi, who is spearheading efforts to curb the rising cases of suicide in the region, says the most affected age group is between 45 and 65 years. In response, several measures have been put in place to address the crisis.
So far, we have held 4 main conferences in 4 sub-counties. We are remaining with 4 sub-counties, but we want it to be a continuous thing, that maybe monthly or quarterly we want to be having men conferences where we bring in men so that men can discuss among themselves, men can open up to each other the issues that are affecting them. And if a man gets to hear from a fellow man what he's going through, that one by itself is therapeutic.
As the numbers rise, the emotional toll on families and the broader community deepens. For some, grief is too heavy for words. For others, it is a wake-up call.
So what?
Ayub Okoth, a member of staff at Dedan Kimathi University, was diagnosed with alcohol use disorder last year, a condition characterized by uncontrolled drinking and a persistent preoccupation with alcohol. He now shares his personal journey of struggling with mental health challenges and the ongoing path towards healing and recovery.
I went from all those stages where now I reached the habitual stage where I had now to use it to function, because now I needed it to maybe calm down the tension, the stresses that I have at work and also in my relationships. Little did I know that the use of alcohol could lead to an addiction phase, which is the last stage where now my life now turns to be unmanageable and uncontrollable, because without it, you cannot function well. So at that stage, I didn't realize it, because it was a stage where I had a loss and grief phase, whereby now I needed something to curb this stress and this grief that I'm having. So I'd lost my dad at that period, and my life therefore turned to be so bad where I couldn't manage and control it. I was taken to hospital for psychiatric checkup and reviews. It was successful, but you see, the most underlying issues there were not addressed. I relapsed and then went back to drinking. Now it became so worse, because at that point now you see the guilt and shame of now going back to doing your old habits. Yet people expect you now to move away from it.
Seeing his struggle with alcoholism, Ayub's colleagues advised him to enroll in a rehabilitation center where he stayed for 3 months.
I was taken through the 12 steps of AA. So the 12 steps, once we were done with the 12 steps, we did the 12 traditions of Alcoholics Anonymous. And then after 12 traditions, we were taken through the relapse, how to prevent relapse, and how now to manage the triggers. If masculinity can be something that can be addressed, that it's okay for men to talk, it's okay for men to cry, I think the rising cases of suicide can go down.
Okoth, now 5 months sober, has created several forums to engage men in open conversations about mental health, addiction, and emotional well-being. Margaret Nderito, a psychological counselor at Good Shepherd Wellness Center, calls for urgent coordinated action to address the root causes of this crisis.
Pia kukuwe na mental literacy yenye itaguzia the mental wellness from that age ya mtoto akiwa mdogo hadi mtu akiwa mtu mkubwa.
Just this week, it was so painful to me to see children come back from school in Kingongo area, only to walk home and find their dad dangling from a rooftop inside the sitting room. I think that one was very painful to me. I feel it's traumatic to me and even to the children, and I've actually instructed that these children should be taken through some counseling sessions.
As Kenya marks June as Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, it is a crucial time to break the silence surrounding men's mental health. The rising suicide toll in Nyeri is more than just a statistic. It is a plea for awareness, for compassion, and for action. It is time to listen closely and to step in early and finally give mental health the urgency it has long been denied. Margaret Kimathi, NTV in Nyeri County.
Oh, the story by Margaret Kimathi is